What served as an inspiration for this game?
So we were inspired by how technology was changing the way we live our own lives, how, we're always using our phone, connecting to people, to information, even to objects now. So we're exploring that, and we wanted to see what it could do if we gave the power to exploit all of those connections to a player, to basically hack into any system within a city.
What are your thoughts on Hollywood's take on technology and cameras with shows like Person of Interest?
Yeah, it's interesting to see that, being inspired by the same things, different people get to different results. I mean, we all live in this world where we see connectivity making big changes in our lives, how we interact with each other and how we depend on our environment. So obviously, we're all going to be inspired. Many people in entertainment will be inspired by those things.
How do you feel the NSA's use of camera and technology will impact this game's launch?
Well, it's interesting because it's now part of people's conversation. I think that some of the themes that we are touching upon, like surveillance and how technology affects our lives, is definitely going to be more into people's mind when they start playing the game. So it's making maybe our lives easier into talking about our core subject matter, about technology in our cities.
How many cameras are there in the real city of Chicago?
So I'm not, I don't have official numbers. When we did research back in the days, there were numbers of 10,000s, but that's like 4 years ago. So obviously that has increased. It was interesting for us to be using Chicago as our city for watchdogs because it's considered as one of the most surveilled city in North America, in the United States. There's a centralized surveillance system. So for us, that was a good way of inspiring ourselves for the teams of watchdogs.
How have those cameras opened up for gameplay?
So for us, it was interesting to start, figuring out what a player could do if he could project himself into any of those cameras. So first, you can do facial recognition, start spying into people, what they're doing in the street, who they are. And then we thought, well, let's project ourselves from camera to camera, being able to go across the city. Basically, you stand in one place, but you're able to hack things that are very far. And we started thinking more about it, and we look at research into it. Police forces are starting to use those cameras to prevent crimes from happening in the first place. So we gave that tool to the player also. You get warnings that some patterns are going to start creating possible crimes because of, checking the criminal record of people automatically and stuff like that. And the player can intervene if he wants. So there are a lot of different aspects linked to cameras. But the cameras that are maybe the most interesting to hack into are the ones that are in our house, hacking into someone's webcam, looking at what's happening behind closed doors in the city of Chicago. So there's a lot of fun to have to hack into cameras in Watch Dogs.
Can you talk about the game's protagonist?
Yeah, so in Watch Dogs, you play as Aiden Pierce. Now, Aiden Pierce has been involved in shady things in his past. He's been involved in hacking. You could consider him as a hacker. And because of that, people close to him have been hurt. So now he's on a quest for vengeance. That's when you join up with him in the game. You're trying to figure out who has hurt your family and, most importantly, why. And this is going to lead you into a big quest within the city of Chicago.
How will players take advantage of his hacking skills?
So for us, it was interesting to mix hacking with action. So Aiden is a man on the field. He's not a hacker behind a keyboard. So he always mixes it up either with infiltration, stealth, shooting, or driving. And it can be helpful in all of those situations. So for example, if you're driving high speed, you can hack a drawbridge to block pursuance, create a jump for yourself. If you're trying to sneak around, you might be hacking through cameras to scout the area or creating distractions so that guards, move out of your way. And if you're in a firefight, you can create cover for yourself or deny into your opponents. So players are able to be creative with the tools that they have in hacking.